And a good Sunday afternoon, everyone, and welcome into the Pierce Sports Center here in San Bernardino, California, as we bring you our third of four matches on the final day of the NVA's opening season for 2022. And this should be a good one, as two teams that got off the year with a victory over an expansion team meet, and two longtime rivals in the New Jersey Freedom and the NVA's defending champion, the OC Stunners. Again, both teams knocking off the expansion Seattle Sasquatch to start the year. Both teams still not at complete full strength, but they were impressive each on their opening days.
Yeah, you're right, Ira. This should be a very good matchup between these two teams. Again, not at full strength, but probably just enough pieces to be able to make it competitive on both sides. And one team will walk away with a victory and finish this first event off on a high note.
And one of these teams will be unbeaten in divisional play. This is a National Conference Coastal Division matchup. Again, the winner of each of our four divisions will automatically qualify for the NVA's playoffs, which will be the sixth and final event of the year, the first weekend of August. And then the next two teams in each conference with the best overall records will then be the at-large wild card teams in the 8-team tournament. This is, again, the first of 5 events this year. We have one more match to go today, and then the return will be Mother's Day weekend. We're back out here in San Bernardino, California. So we are set to play. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. First for the Stunners, as they will send out a lineup of Shane Beamer. He's wearing number 3 in the middle. He'll be joined in the middle by number 9, Nick West. Libero will be Dylan Chigakawa, wearing number 25 today. Noli Mon will be your starting setter today for the Stunners. Matt Hillings, one of the outsides, wearing number 18. Josh Nels will be the other, wearing number 20. And Dylan Emery, number 10, on the right side for the OC Stunners. Meanwhile, for New Jersey, Team Freedom, as they are formerly known, coached by Justin Beaumont today. They'll be led by setter Ryan Kenny, wearing number 1. Ian Kepps, one of the outsides, wearing number 4. He'll be joined by number 7, Tim Fairder, on the outside. Big Joe Norman at 6'9", whereas number 16, he's on the right side. Your middles today will be Thomas Burrell, number 18, and Matt Buffum, number 2, with Ryan Alou defending the back line, wearing number 5. Your lineup for this matchup today. Referees for this one, Patrick Bradley will be in the R1 chair. Dennis Francisini. We'll see how busy he gets today, because with the replay system certainly being used quite a bit in the first iteration in which it's been offered here in the NVA, it's his job to take a look at the monitor and give us the signal, in or out, touch or no touch.
Very good and welcome addition to the NVA this season, the challenge system. Each team getting 3 challenges to start with through sets 1 through 4. If you don't win your challenge, you lose it. And then if there was to be a 5th set tiebreaker, you do get 1 new challenge to use for both teams with that 5th set starting.
And our line judges for this one, Justin Baker, will be on the left side of our screen, the right side of your screen. And on the Freedom side of the court right now is Elvin Otley. So we are set to go, and the ball in the hands of Ryan Kenny, the setter for Team Freedom out of Cinnamints in New Jersey. And he will get us underway. Ira Thor alongside Matt Prosser. And that will fall in for a kill for Hilling. Matt Hilling, who just returned from playing overseas in Israel.
Well, we haven't seen Matt Hilling play outside hitter since last season. He set just on Friday a little bit, trading off those setting duties with Noli. So interesting to see how he does on the outside today.
Team Freedom having some trouble with this passing, the early going, and a big swing from the back row. This will be a free ball. They go to the middle, and Nick West destroys it.
Nice pass, a free ball over to the Stunners. They take care of it. The libero putting a perfect pass up for his side. Nick West available in transition, equaling a point to the Stunners that time.
OC had, surprisingly, some trouble with the Seattle Sasquatch on Friday in their opening day, as that is put away by Ian Kapp. The Stunners were victorious in 4 sets. It nearly went 5. They had to win the 4th set 27-25, which would have been a shocker if Seattle had forced them to 5 sets. And then in Freedom's debut yesterday, they had no problems with the Sasquatch, put them back into hibernation, 25-20, 25-19, and 25-16. 3-1 lead for the Stunners. Here's Matt Hilling.
It's going to be very important for Team Freedom to get off to a quick start. I know they're down by 2, but they're going to have to create some momentum on their side. That's a nice side out through the middle as well, but they cannot let the Stunners get too far away too soon here in this match.
Matt Buffum gets the kill. Matt Buffum will now serve. Back set. Emery tools the block.
And Dylan Emery getting the call at the opposite start today, the left-hander. That time going high off the hands of the block of Team Freedom and out of bounds.
Emery had a bit of a shaky performance against the Sasquatch. He had 24 total attempts, only had 6 kills, and had 4 errors. He was blocked twice, just a 25% hitting rate.
He was playing outside hitter on Friday and also passing, so I think this is a bit more of his natural comfort position at the opposite player spot.
Norman with the kill. So Joe Norman played his collegiate volleyball at George Mason. And that is rolled in for the winner as Josh Nels gets his number called. The Downey, California native, product of Hope International University. Norman also, by the way, played at SUNY New Paltz. As Norman destroys it down the line.
Yeah, big swing that time from Joe Norman. Had a little bit of a slow start yesterday. Didn't really get a lot of kills offensively, but that time his first swing of the match, and he takes care of business that time from the back row.
So here's Tim Ferreter, product of both New Paltz and Stevens, and he uncorks an ace. Ferreter goes again after the libero. Swinging away are the Stunners. Chance for the Freedom to capitalize, but up and swings away. And I don't think that ever went over.
A nice dig from Ryan Alu, the libero for Team Freedom that time. However, Stunners with a nice 3-man block in transition against Joe Norman there for a point.
So they'll hand the ball here to Josh Nels. 6'2", native of Downey, California, leaves it short. Last 3 meetings of these teams, 2 of them have been sweeps. Each team with a sweep along the way, and of course a playoff battle with the Stunners beating Team Freedom 3-2. All those matches occurring last year. This is the 5th year of the NVA. First year that we have 12 teams with the additions this year of the Seattle Sasquatch and the Colorado Kraken. Team Freedom, New Jersey Freedom, along with Southern Exposure, the only 2 teams in the Eastern time zone. So we thank those of you watching on the East Coast where it's 6 p.m. Big bump here. Oh, reach out and stuff someone. Nick West joined in the middle there with Hilling. And also Noli Mon getting part of that block as well as Ian Kapp met his match.
That's a real big 3-man block for the Stunners. They're going to need a few more of those throughout this match. Off to a good start there, though.
Wonder if Nick West had some coffee before this one. We know how he loves his stuff. Loves probably some Starbucks. And that is rolled in. for the kill by Hilling. So here is Shane Beamer, wears so many hats with the NVA, not just a player, certainly a big part of the operational component behind the scenes. Beamer out of Burbank, California, will be 27 years old next month. Over on one on the swing by Cap. Second chance, Kenny sets up Buffum for the blast.
Well, credit to Shane getting that first dig. Always like seeing the middle blockers getting that opportunity in defense in the back row. Getting a nice scoop, although it went over the net, but Buffum with a good attacking transition there.
That pass is off. Nolimon had to chase that down, so a free ball chance here for the Freedom. Back set, Cap with a useful spot. Second kill for Cap. Hilling swinging away. That's going to ricochet off the ceiling and a bad break for Freedom. Side out for the Stunners. They lead 10-8. So here is Nolimon. He's your setter today out of San Diego, California. Norman's going to just send this deep, allow his team to reset. They go to West, and he gets put down with the stuff from Buffum.
Well, Buffum with a nice job getting his hands over the net. The connection that time between Noli and West. Not quite as fruitful as the first one earlier, but still working on that.
And Ian Cap, who's one of the most dangerous servers in the NVA. And you see it right there, the ace for Cap.
Right on cue, Ira. Nice point, saying that Ian Cap is one of the strongest servers in the league. It's his first ace of the day.
Cap was a three-time All-American in Division III at Kane University in Union, New Jersey. He's a native of Harrisburg, PA. Cap looking for another. Tough pass. They go to Hilling, and Hilling puts it away.
Hilling from the right side. As that 0-1 position player, able to take that swing inside out formation on the right side and terminating his first attempt there.
Hilling only had one kill, 3 swings in the win over the Sasquatch. Didn't get a lot of options. Swinging away here was Farrader. And Norman and Matt Buffum with the Stuffum. Another block for New Jersey. And here is Buffum. They go to Emery, and he's able to tool the hands. So it's been a good competitive back and forth match so far.
Yeah, very much so. Emery with a nice swing there. Going with the high hands off the block, the lefty, giving a little bit of a different angle as a left-handed right side attacker. Team Freedom is going to have to make some adjustments with their block and defense against him.
Cap with the pass. They go to Norman. He gets blocked back. Second chance for Freedom. They'll feed Norman again. In the middle, Norman teaming with Thomas Burrell, and they get the rejection. And we are all square at a dozen each. So Norman in his time in the Hudson Valley playing for SUNY New Paltz before finishing his career at George Mason. He helped lead them to the NCAA National Championship with serves like that as well as he unleashes the second ace for New Jersey.
That's a big service ace by Joe Norman. Right down the line, attacking the seam between Josh and Matt on the stunner side. See if he can follow it up with another one here.
So the lead here for Freedom. This might come over. And they cannot keep it alive. Back-to-back aces from Big Joe Norman. And New Jersey has a 14-12 lead in probably our most marquee matchup of the day. Two teams expected to compete for the National Conference Coastal Division title. You would think on paper, knowing what the Stunners do still have in their tank and maybe coming in later this year when they get back from overseas. Oh, that's another big stuff by Thomas Burrell. Ryan Kenny getting involved as well. The fourth block for New Jersey. They lead 15-12.
Yeah, nice pass that time from the Stunners, fighting off Joe Norman's jump serve, but Josh is getting stuffed down there, Tom, from Ryan Kenny and Thomas Burrell.
Again, you have to think the Stunners, being the defending champions, knowing what they do have coming in, that they are probably your favorite to win the division, but Team Freedom's not going to just let them walk over the league.
Yeah, and every match matters here. It's not like a free match for anybody, regardless of who you have personnel-wise on your roster on any given day. Still going to have to play your best top-level volleyball in order to win.
Here is Dylan Emery. Turned 30 years old last summer. Here's Norman swinging away. And just long, and I think I'm watching Justin Beaumont. He is walking over to grab the green challenge flag, and I think it's a good challenge because it was very close to that back line. So Justin Beaumont, who is the owner of the worst challenge in the history of professional sports, yesterday against the Sasquatch, and this has been confirmed by our officiating crew yesterday. It was an absolute embarrassment to the replay system. However, this one is a much better option for Justin and company.
Well, let's hope so, and in fact, we'll see here. Team Freedom looking for a touch off the block.
I thought it was actually very close to the back line as well. So maybe there was a touch, and I think that's a good point. And you have the option to look for the touch, but I thought potentially that caught some tape. And of course, the report on Justin, while we are ribbing him, and he can take it, that was factually correct. It was just no need in the world to challenge it, except to experiment and see how it works, I guess.
And it was verified from the video check official.
It was also the shortest review in replay history. It lasted 4 seconds. You can go back and watch the end of our match yesterday. It's all there. We're not making this up. As funny as it sounds. I think it was in the final 4 points of the Sasquatch third set. So as they look at the screen, players standing around getting obviously a free timeout here as well, but Team Freedom's got nice momentum going on right now. They've come out ready to play in their middles between Buffum and Thomas Burrell. From above, let's get the signal, and Justin Beaumont celebrates a loss as the point goes over to the Stunners.
No, I'm around just listening.
The challenge, and it's a 15-14 game. As they go to Ferreter, but reading that one perfectly was Nels. And that is blocked, but out of bounds, so a kill for Hilling from the back row. We're even at 15. Kill from Beamer.
Well, Ira, let's chat real fast about what we're seeing here in this game. Back and forth, right? No team able to establish a dominant sort of lead here halfway through set number one. It's been, a lot of even back and forth, siding out, but no momentum runs from either side so far.
They're going to go here on the outside. That is smashed down by Ian Kapp. This will be a service here for Burrell with his team now leading by 2.
Huge advantage for Ian Kapp that time, blocking against Noli Mon. Undersized blocker in front of Kapp's offensive.
Barrow had trouble with that one, Matt. That's going to be a free ball opportunity, and Freedom's going to try to take advantage. They go back to Kapp, and he misses wide.
Now, Kapp forcing it that time a little bit, trying to turn it too far down the line, threading that needle, but just not getting it there.
Beamer's too long. West, this one will be pulled back onto the court by Ferreter, and this will be a high free ball. Smart play here by Cap, allow his team to reset. From the back row, swinging away and getting the result is Josh Nels. And an important side out for the Stunners. My wife will tell you as such, as that is left short. Matt Hilling back to serve. And that one sails long. Well, I always thought Nick had a little Jersey in him, and
clearly he does.
You know, I bring out the best in this crew as I bring my East Coast Mafia ties with us. Oh, man. All right, back to live action. Nick West dropping the bomb. And it's tough to block a 6'8" D1 product. Played at UCI and also at Hawaii, and so much international experience. And he just doesn't make a lot of mistakes. When they are able to feed him the ball in the middle, he's one of the most destructive middles in the league.
Yeah, very much so, Ira. Couldn't agree with you more.
He serves pretty well as well, but this one, too long, actually nearly takes out one of our replay cameras. There are replay cameras throughout this building. You cannot miss a touch. You also cannot miss a body if there's one lying around. And that's a big investment the NVA has made this year to make sure that we are doing everything we can to bring you the best possible product, but also to give the players full access to all the technology that makes professional volleyball what it is. Collegiate level, you're starting to see some of the replay come in, mostly in Division I on the televised matches. It's a little harder at the start. And you're seeing it here as the Stunners tied 22-22 serve away, and it is untied by Tim Ferreter.
Ferreter really a bit of a sleeper outside hitter, having a nice match so far. The opposite position player getting his kills, that time from the left side in serve reception.
Serving away is Ferreter. Nearly aces the Stunners. They're going to have to free it over. Chance for Freedom to draw closer to the finish line, and they will as Thomas Burrell buries it.
Thomas Burrell in transition, just demolishing that ball, Ira.
And Tim Ferreter, 24-22. Freedom will look to put an exclamation mark on this opening set. Running this one down is Mon, and rolled over. Norman couldn't handle it, so they're going to have to free this over and reset. Chance for the Stunners to cut within one, and they will not. They are asking for the touch. It is not called by our official Patrick Bradley, and unless that is challenged, it will be the end of game number one. Bill Lee, who is coaching this match for the Stunners, does indeed pull out the green challenge card, the square, which apparently, if you want to buy some challenge cards, I heard them joking around in between matches today that, hey, if you want to buy some extra challenges, maybe we could talk some business. But
not for sale. It's set to get back.
OSIM.
It's the R3 digital video, by the way, is the challenge system being used by the NVA. There's a lot of other options that have been used in collegiate sports. DV Sport is probably the most well-known, but there's some smaller-known challenge systems that are actually better. And this is the best challenge system for the NVA because of the ability to see so many different touches. We have cameras on the net. So they are still reviewing this as we are back from the quick break. They are clearly looking for a touch. Again, this replay system, you may not have heard me as we went to break. Suddenly, it's the RV digital video challenge review system. There you see the players looking to see if the Stunners will win this call. They have a flat screen courtside. Day one, they tried to project. It was a little tough to see with the lights on in the gym. So today, without a large video board in this facility, they have a TV that the players been watching. And it's actually been nice to see the reactions from the players. And the Freedom do indeed win set number one. The court decision has been upheld. And now we will go to a break as Team Freedom wins game number one, 25-22. They lead the match 1-0. Matt and I will be back for more. Join us here in San Bernardino in just a bit. And we're back here courtside in San Bernardino, California at the Pierce Sports Center. This is our third of 4 matches today on the final day of the NVA's opening weekend for the 2022 season. I'm Ira Thor. He's 2-time All-American Matt Prosser, who once had 16 stuffs in a match. As many blocks in a match as I've had in the last 15 years combined.
That one was actually more than 15 years ago, I think, too. So
1997 it was? I was talking about myself. I haven't had 16 total in the last 15 years. You did that in one day's work, my friend. As we are underway here, and it starts off with a Joe Norman well-placed attack. Team Freedom leads 1-0, winning 25-22 in the opener in what was an evenly played game percentage-wise. The Freedom had 13 kills and hit 46%. The Stunners just a few less, 10 kills, just one attack error. At least, well, one unforced attack error, I should say. They were blocked 3 times and hit 43%. And Nick West overpowers with the swing.
2 stats stand out to me from set number 1 going against the OC Stunners is their passing percentage was a very salty 21%.
I think you could say putrid. Putrid's a good word there.
Pretty close to that as well. 21%. Not a very good number to be passing at.
Ian Cap with the kill. Team Freedom at 61%, which is a little bit better. Ian Cap leading the way 73%. What really stood out is a 12% reception rate for Dylan Chikakawa, the libero. He's got to be a little bit more of a consistent passer back there for them to have a shot. Nick West, but waiting for that one was the other libero, Ryan Alou, and then Nick West with the solo stuff one-on-one against Matt Buffum.
Now Ryan Kenny going with the bump set to the quick hitter, almost working out, but a nice block that time by Nick West.
So the Stunners, the Freedom, 2-2, your score. OC Stunners, of course, they're not from Southern California. OC, of course, stands for Orange County. That clips off the tape. Ian Cap, who was a setter when he played for the Untouchables last year, had that big pass. Oh, he looks like he can still do it. And Joe Norman with a big dig kill, but no, it won't fall because it comes back over. So he says, all right, feed me again, and the beast eats.
Joe Norman just dominating and detonating on some of these right side attacks. Both of those just with absolute hammers.
Yeah, the first time of the big dig, for the Stunners by the setter Nolimon, I thought that was going to carry out a play, Matt, but stayed on the court, and Joe had to swing again. They go here to Dylan Emery, and that will fall in. Ryan Kenny laid out, but just didn't have enough length. We've had a 4-man broadcast crew this weekend. I will be out after this match, so our final contest today, which will be at 6 p.m. today. Well, Nick can't call it because he will be playing in the match for the Las Vegas Ramblers, as that is attacked by Burrell and tipped in. Shane Beamer finds a useful spot. So I'll be on my way back to LAX to fly back to the East Coast because we all have day jobs. And that means the odd man out. That's Matt Prosser. He miss it, 6 p.m. Pacific to close out our opening weekend of the year. And down the line, missing wide, is the attack by Tim Ferreter.
And just like that, Stunners with a 2-point advantage. Sorry about that.
Noah Chast, our sideline reporter, first weekend working with the NVA, did a great job. Again, he is safe and sound. He is on his way to the airport to fly back to Oregon, where he is a news reporter in Bend, Oregon. That is his full-time job, but former volleyball player himself at club programs in Pennsylvania and the Philadelphia area. He's a Penn State graduate. We've all played, none as high of a level, of course, as our partner here, Matt Prosser. We've all played. Nick's still playing. Noah played. I played on a state championship team back in the day being another century. Still playing old people leagues.
I still think the 4 of us should get, at some point during this season, a beach match going on.
Oh, I would love that. Let's do it.
Here behind the Pierce Sports Center. Could be a lot of fun, and maybe have some players broadcast that one for us.
Turn the tables, have them do the play-by-play, and two oldest, because I am taller than Chas. Yeah. I got 2 inches on him at least. But to cut the promo for this match, which you can see on Instagram, I did clarify that if necessary, I can come in as an emergency serving specialist and got it on one take. I can still get that part of the game down.
There you go.
I was going to jump, but
As long as you didn't underhand serve, Ira, I'm proud of you.
Kenny will set that outside. That is blocked back. It's going to fall in for a triple block, led by Beamer. Also involved was Mon, and the third blocker in that group was the other outside, Josh Nels. I had over 50 aces or so my senior year in high school. Somewhere around that number. I mean, some of the teams were pretty bad, but you take advantage of what you can.
Oh, Dylan Emery getting that dig down the line. However, Shane Beamer finding himself in the net, negating the dig from his teammate and giving a point back to Team Freedom here.
Tim Ferreter will serve here for the Freedom. Leaves it short.
Now, Ira, when you were playing volleyball in high school, 50 aces, that's a good number.
Roughly over the course. Yeah.
Approximately.
There's no box scores from that era.
Were you an outside hitter? Were you a setter?
I was an outside hitter, but I was stuck behind the state's player of the year in the lineup, so it is what it is. He ended up playing at UC Santa Barbara, which was uncommon back then for players from the East Coast to come out and play West. Only the best few did. Oh, that one came over, and Ian Cap flexing like the Hulk.
Talk about a nice bounce off the stunner block for Ian Cap. Literally went straight up and down. Cap landed, gathered, took another swing, and scored on that second attempt from the stunner's block deflection.
Played 2 years of collegiate club volleyball. They didn't have very many varsity programs in the East Coast back in the mid-90s. So you played where you could. That is attacked by Hilling, and he's able to connect for the winner as the OC Stunners are able to even this at 8-all. That's been what I've been most pleased about, is just the dramatic growth of the sport in the last maybe 20 years or so. In the early 2000s, I was assistant commissioner of the Northeast Collegiate Volleyball Association, which some fans may remember, which was the largest conference in the country for volleyball at that time. There were 47 teams in Division III that were part of that group. And eventually, we were able to get the NCAA to unleash a NCAA Division III national tournament. And now the sport has exploded across the country, at least at the small school level, well over 100 or so schools. You have not seen that level of growth, which is disappointing, the lack of commitment that's been in Division I. It's getting better. The Northeast Conference with FDU and Sacred Heart and St. Francis, PA, and LIU among schools as Nick West puts that away. They just committed to adding the sport next year now that they have enough full-time members that sponsor it. So that will be their 25th championship sport coming next year. Of course, the EIVA, very strong, long-lasting conference in the East Coast. And as you know, Mount West Conference and a number of our conferences in the Midwest. As there goes the replay camera. For the first time, the replay camera has been taken out as the players go over to fix the equipment. That Mikasa backdrop finally met its match. But there's still only probably maybe 35, 40 Division I, Division II programs that combine to compete together. The growth just hasn't been as dramatic, which is why you see so many players at this level whose background in the sport was at schools that some of our audience, quite frankly, may not be familiar with.
Yeah, Ira, well, you make a great point. You bring up a great talkative situation in the growth of volleyball across the board, especially in men's volleyball. Unfortunately, yeah, at the university level, Division I, it's still in the works of creating more programs. We are seeing some growth, especially on the women's intercollegiate beach program level as well. It's exciting to see that taking off around the country as Joe Norman makes his second consecutive hitting error there.
Yeah, the beach is actually real exciting to see that growth. There's players from the East Coast who are now coming west, not to play indoor volleyball, but actually to play beach. I know
The
there's a
opportunity
young
of-
lady from Brick, New Jersey I saw committed to Long Beach State, which I was surprised by to see that kind of cross-country commitment.
Scholarship opportunities for beach volleyball female athletes.
As Nick West points to the court, lands the ace off of the tape, and the Stunners have a 2-point lead, 12-10. I mean, I am the father of a club player. My daughter is a freshman in high school, made the transition from soccer to volleyball this summer, so I've been playing for only 8 months, already playing pretty good level in the club circuit in New Jersey. His dad is put away by Buffum.
Buffum being very offensively minded. Team Freedom taking advantage of having him in the front row, and he's doing a nice job so far in the match.
Justin Beaumont, who's the head coach here for the Freedom, actually personally trained my son. Oh, and that is stuffed down by Burrell and Norman. Big block for Freedom.
Oh my goodness, Ira. That looks like you hitting into one of my blocks from back in the day.
I would not
my
hit into your
goodness.
block because I would just roll it to the other side of the court and live to see another point.
That was one of the biggest blocks we've seen here.
I
as
would
of
stay
late.
far away from you. You're trouble. Speaking of trouble, Emery sticks it down the line for a stunner point. That breaks a 12-12 tie. It's 13-12. Yeah, but Justin Beaumont actually personally trained my son when he didn't want to play club. He didn't want to make that full commitment, but I needed somebody to train him that I trusted, and Justin did a great job with him. And senior year ends up being one of the blocking leaders in the state of New Jersey at 6'5". Emery will send this over. Norman goes to Kenny. They will give it to Ferreter. That will trickle off the tape into the antenna for a Ferreter kill.
Now, when you were searching out some coaches for your son, specifically for blocking, did you ever take into account the coach's actual height before hiring them? Because Coach Beaumont literally is about 5'4".
He is about 5'4". And give him 5'5". He's grown a little bit, since his playing days. No, but what was, as I love to bust Justin's chops, but what was great about him is just the technique, just teaching technique and let him do his thing. And then obviously I was able to tweak some stuff along the way.
It is a technique thing for sure, Ira. I'm giving Coach Justin a little bit of grief as well as yourself.
Give him as much grief as possible.
Yes, technique is the of utmost importance when you are blocking. The height just helps, right? But
I never had that kind of height, so I wish I was 6'5" like my kid or 6'14" like you. I got stuck at 6 foot. They didn't have liberos back in the day.
no.
Might have been one. Here's Ferreter. That's going to go over on one. Oh, and a miscommunication there because both Cap and Burrell wanted it, and it is stuffed down. I think Hilling, maybe Mon, they were both going up there, was able to win that play. Almost a joust type play as the Stunners retake the lead, breaking the 14-14 tie.
Noliman with a nice quick block that time on that overpass, catching Burrell off guard.
Freedom swinging away, and Emery gets caught in the chest on the swing by Cap, so we're even at 15.
Meanwhile, Stunners block and defense just not able to slow down Ian Cap out there on the left side. I want to think about changing up their blocking strategy a little bit, playing some games, having Noliman maybe block on the left side and give him a different look.
Not a great pass. Will it stay in? No. Hilling with a difficult set to work with, couldn't keep it in play, and that will send us to our technical timeout here in game 2 with the Team Freedom leading the Stunners 16-15, 1-0. We'll take a break and be back for more here in California. And we're back here courtside in San Bernardino, California. It's a much nicer day here in the Inland Empire. It was 103 when we arrived. It was 99 on Friday, and now it's in the low to mid 70s, which from what I understand, being a Jersey native, not being from this part of the country, this is more normal April weather in beautiful SoCal.
I would concur, it is much more pleasant and normal.
As that is dug back over to that second chance here for Hilling. Norman lays out. Running out of nowhere is Ryan Kenny to get it, and Cap swings. Potential free ball to Joust. Comes back to the Freedom side. Cap swinging again, and this is not coming back. Ian Cap, big high fives as he's able to give Team Freedom a 2-point
groove, but just not able to get the points that they need. They're currently down by 2.
That is the 10th kill for Cap. Hilling gets blocked back. Another stuff back for Team Freedom. This time, Hilling hits it over the top of Kenny and Buffum. Couldn't get 3 in a row and a side out for OC. By the way, to finish that thought on Justin doing some training for my son back in the day, you know what the best part was?
No, I don't.
He didn't charge me. It was free.
Friends
if it's
helping friends.
Free, it's for me. Here's the back set to Norman. He gets rejected. Hilling and West get it done.
That's exactly what the Stunners need. Matt Hilling pairing up nicely with Nick West to finally get a stop on Big Joe Norman.
Well, you swing enough, eventually you're going to get stuffed, and happens to all the big boy players. And that is a finish for Buffum. Hilling down the line gets the spot.
Hilling the 0-1 that time, getting his opportunity on the right side, taking advantage of it by turning that swing down the line.
8th kill for Hilling, by the way, as he'll drop back to serve. Tough into the net. The pass from Malou is carried, but sent over here by Cap. Oh, the roll and a useful spot there by Josh Nels.
Good court awareness and vision by Josh Nels to see the defense not developing and able to place it right where it has to be. That tip right over the block.
That's too long. So later stages here of set number 2. We're now even at 19 all. And Ian Cap, who's already unleashed 1 ace, and he leaves this one short. So here is Nick West. 4 blocks, 3 kills, and an ace so far. Here's Norman, and he buries it.
The blocking of the Stunners just is not matching up well against the Freedom hitters. That time Norman going against Josh Nels, taking advantage. That's a huge height advantage in favor of Joe Norman.
Nels at 6'2", Norman at 6'9", 6'10". And we are all square at 20 here in game 2. So a race to 5. Oh! Shane Beamer with some ruthless aggression.
Shane Beamer unleashing something special on that one, that's for sure. Big cutback swing by Shane Beamer that time.
Pass by Cap. They're going to go here to Tim Ferreter. Saved by the Stunners and sent over on a free ball opportunity. They'll go to Joe Norman, and he makes them pay for the free.
Joe Norman terminating on the right side today, having a nice match.
So 21-21, Norman They'll drop back to serve. 6 kills, 2 aces so far today. Beamer, that's blocked back. I'm not sure it ever went over, but the official said play on. Thomas Burrell terminates the play.
Team Freedom taking the lead at 22-21. Quick attack in transition. Stunners not developing their block and defense in time. Let's see if Joe Norman can add to the advantage here for Team Freedom.
That is covered by Norman. Kenny sets up Burrell. Saved off the net by Beamer. And this will be freed over. Chance for the Stunners to reset. Kenny leaves it for Burrell, and he puts it in the earth. Thomas Burrell literally hung in the air just long enough to have that timing work out. The Stunners call timeout, trailing 23-21, facing a potential 2-0 deficit in the face. This would be a big win for Team Freedom to start the year with 2 consecutive victories if they're able to see this through to completion. And if you're the OC Stunners now, Matt, what's your solution?
Well, again, the blocking matchups is something that they have to figure out. You cannot have Josh Nels blocking against a Joe Norman attack. Joe will win that one nearly every single time. Meanwhile, they have to find some offense here in order to try to come back and win this set, but a little dicey right now for the Stunners.
So Norman will continue to serve at a Bay Shore, New York on Long Island. And he leaves it short. So that timeout froze Norman a bit, and this will be a big serve coming up for Josh Nels. Trying to even this at 23-23. The Stunners cannot afford to try to have to play from behind with a reverse sweep later on if they fail to win this match, or this set, I should say. Kenny, he goes to Ferreter. Oh, and Ferreter buries that for set point coming up here for Team Freedom, 24-22. They won the first set 25-22, and we're looking at a potential similar outcome.
Ferreter just dropping the heat from the left side for Team Freedom there.
So here is Ferreter to serve. Nearly an ace. Hilling swings away. Lou was ready for it. They go to Cap. The roll to finish it. No, but the pancake by Emery allows it to continue on. Here's Cap with another roll. And off balance, the Stunners went the wrong way, and the ball falls in for a game point as Team Freedom, New Jersey's Freedom Squad, has a 2-0 lead in our third match of the day as they look for a potential upset to conclude this opening weekend. We'll take a break, come back for set number 3 live here in San Bernardino.
OSIM.
Back here in San Bernardino, Ira Thornton, Matt Prosser, courtside. Team Freedom leading the OC Stunners, the defending NVA champions, 2-0 as Team Freedom will look to get out of Southern California with back-to-back sweeps to open their 2022 season.
That would be a very statement-making weekend for Team Freedom. However, Stunners currently down 0-2 here in the match. Team Freedom looking to close them out, and the Stunners making a couple of changes personnel-wise. I see Jair Santiago on the court, going to be playing opposite hitter, as well as Antonio Anguizola playing the other outside hitter position, and also new middle blocker Kevin Gear coming in and replacing Shane Beamer. So a couple of changes made by the Stunners. We'll see if they're able to right the ship, if you will, a little bit, and produce a different outcome here in set number 3.
Well, Santiago had a huge effort in the match against the Sasquatch, finishing with 18 kills to lead everybody at 51%. He lead everybody in his team. As the Sasquatch actually did get a 23 kill performance from Peterson Silva that day, but Santiago, when he's on, is a very dangerous player. And Nick West starts game number 1 with a kill. No changes for Team Freedom. Their most accomplished player on the sideline is the 7-footer Paul Balanzik, who they recently picked up along with Ian Kapp and Matt Buffum and Thomas Burrell from the Chicago Untouchables. Here's Kapp swinging away, and he sticks it through the block. Hilling came up surprised that that ball went through them, as Hilling and West put up a nice block, but Kapp, who is a bit undersized at 6 foot, knows how to use his verticality.
Yeah, Kapp swings hard every single time, being super aggressive. He's gotten 7 total points here in the match so far. 17 total attempts on the attack side.
And 12 of them have landed for kills. And that is stuck through this time by Joe Norman.
Really, Freedom just firing on all cylinders, playing a good, solid style of volleyball, attacking the ball at a high point, having a well-rounded offense, getting everybody involved, not relying too heavily on 1 or 2 players.
And the passing has been really pristine. Kapp at a 69% rate, Alou 63%, Fairder 60%. They've done a good job all the way around. Oh, and look at the windmill. Thomas Burrell, renewable energy.
Renewable energy. One of those times when now you really can see how Team Freedom can really do no wrong. Ryan Kenny kind of just putting up a ball to anybody, and Burrell with the athleticism comes flying through the air with that windmill kill.
Backside here to Santiago, his first swing, and he's able to unleash the kill, and we have to congratulate Jair Santiago. He and his wife Natasha are expecting, I believe, their first child. They had a gender reveal, I don't say a party, there was no cake, there was no wine, but they had a reveal ceremony between the last match and this one for everybody in the building, and they are going to be expecting a baby girl later this year, so congratulate them. Santiago tools the block. He's 2 for 2.
Well, when you make those substitutions, you have to set the new guys on the court to see if they can make a difference. And so far, Jair's presence on the court is helping for the Stunners.
And Nick West will serve, his team leading 4-3. Pass by Fairder. Kenny tries to set up Burrell, and that's blocked back. Fairder, a little off balance, sends it deep. From the back row, swinging away, Hilling gets the result. So West will continue to serve. As we are playing game 3, we're at the Pierce Sports Center here in San Bernardino, California, the Inland Empire. Not the Inner Empire, as I just spoke one time yesterday. I knew what I was saying. That is stuck down the line by Norman.
Nick West in the right spot there. You could hear his teammates on the sideline trying to give him some direction on defense and almost coming up with that one.
Really, it's 73 degrees and 1 point deficit as Joe Norman looks to serve. Hilling had trouble with that one. Santiago with the left hand rolls it deep. Here's Ferreter, and he hits it cross court for the winner. 5-5. And Joe Norman been responsible for 11 points so far, second to Cap on the Freedom side. Got a match high, 2 aces. Leaves that one short.
We see Jair from the back line here for the first time in this match, one of the biggest servers for the Stunners. Good indication of how his shoulder is feeling.
Big toss from Santiago. Oh, he tries some trickery there with the roll. Ferreter makes the kill. Tim Ferreter, who quietly is chalking up kills at a high rate. That is his 8th. He's got 8, Cap's got a dozen. 8 from Norman, 7 from Burrell. Five from Buffin, by the way. I don't want to leave him out. First chance to see Aguzola swinging away. And that is a back row violation on Freedom.
Ferreter's toes just tickling the line that time as a back row violation is seen and called. Stunners just trying to find some rhythm, not playing a very explosive style of volleyball so far. Ira having some new guys come in, having a hard time navigating around the Freedom blockers too.
They go back to Cap, and that redirection will trickle out of play for the kill. Kevin Gear had some hands on that. Burrell serving away. They go to Hilling. That is stuffed down, but collected off of the block. They go back to Cap, and a misfire. They get the touch, however. Our line official on the right side, Elvin Otley, called it immediately, but Bill Lee will challenge it just to be sure as he pulls out the green challenge square, and we are going to another video replay. So clearly they will be looking to see whether or not there actually was a touch. We're looking forward to hopefully the May event being able to show you the replay live on the broadcast. New technology, first time that we've had a chance to work with the NVA, so still trying to figure out how to incorporate that into the broadcast. There is a way technically, but that is above Matt and my pay grades. Even above Nick England's pay grade. He's like the executive VP of everything.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to know your limits, Ira. Nick is nearly limitless. Talk about wearing a lot of hats here with the NVA. Nick does a great job, but incorporating instant replay and challenge system into our broadcast, we're going to leave that one up to the professionals. Ira.
So we continue to look at it. I'd like to say that we have the opportunity to see it live here, but we're not able to do so at the moment. Here's some sounds coming from the sideline. It's mostly Justin Beaumont. Now we can see the players looking on. If it's inconclusive, well, then it will remain the call on the court. It will be upheld. Players are laughing pleasantries across the net. A lot of mutual respect between these two teams. There you see Kevin Gear, number 12, on the right side of our screen. Gear had a great career at Penn State. Played 3 years for the Nittany Lions, and the review is conclusive enough to overturn the call. There was not a touch indeed, and the point goes over to the Stunners.
Good use of that challenge. They save it, score the point, and get to keep that challenge to use later.
Here is Kevin Gear, the aforementioned, played 3 years for the Nittany Lions, finished with 423 kills on 767 career attacks, hit .416 for the Nittany Lions, and he finished his career with almost 250 total blocks, as that is put down by Ian Cap. A very productive time in University Park. Here's Ryan Kenny. Didn't play varsity collegiately, but he did play collegiate club. School he went and have volleyball at it. Back set by Kenny allows Norman to do that.
Nice set from Ryan Kenny that time, especially in transition. And credit to Joe Norman, ready to attack that nice set from his teammate. Freedom back to the lead here.
Trying to close this out in 3. They go to Santiago, and that will leave an imprint on Alou. Santiago hit it as hard from that part of the court as you possibly could. Santiago, 6'8", at a Corozal, Puerto Rico.
The power that Jair generates from that arm is eye-opening sometimes.
And that is blocked back by Nick West, one-on-one.
Nice combo between those two players here for the Stunners. Jair kill and then a Nick West block. So we'll see if the Stunners can keep the momentum on their side.
As the 5th block, Santiago involved. And for the first time today, the Freedom facing some adversity in their attacking game. A couple blocks here for the OC Stunners, maybe enough to get them to go on a roll. As we see Noli Mon to serve. Oh, and Ian Cap says enough already as he powers that down the line for a crucial side out.
Ian Cap showing that he's got some power in that shoulder still too. After Jair unleashing a little heat, Ian Cap returns the favor that time.
Cap is 24 years old and played his collegiate volleyball. Kane University helped lead him to the NCAA Division III quarterfinals. Reach out and stuff someone, Norman, and buff him with the stuff him.
Mark it, trademark that one. I haven't heard that's a new call coming in today. Matt Buffum.
I'm gonna save that one again. Somebody print the t-shirt, I get some royalties, and we'll have Buffum's face and a couple of hands on it.
Better get that going before the next event.
I would like
It'll
to
be a sellout.
I would like to give credit to the Crown Royal I had last night. As Norman clips the antenna. And this will be a side out over to the Stunners. They lead by 2, 13-11.
Would it just say Matt Stuff'em? or
Matt buff him with the
buff
stuff.
him with a stuff him.
Yeah, buff him with the stuff. And that is pushed too wide by Buffum. Be doing some baseball this summer on the East Coast, looking to do that. Actually going to do a lot of traveling more this summer. That's what I'm most looking forward to.
Summer season is built for traveling, right?
Got some miles I got to use. Got to use them soon too. Some are going to expire. My wife wants to go to Hawaii, and I would love to take them there, but they're not keen on this 8-hour flight. And I'm like, you try coming out here 6 times a year to call the NVA, 6 hours each way.
I think you should take them to Iceland.
You know, we've thought about that, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Could see some volcanoes. And take a steam bath.
Country.
See some geysers. Maybe the northern lights if you time it right. Here is Nick West. Where are you guys going this summer?
San Bernardino.
It's like you never left. As that is put away by Ian Cap, who gets another. This is the bulk of your travel extravaganzas this year?
Well, at the moment, no major trips planned on the calendar other than these little weekend jaunts out here for the NVA, but definitely looking to spend a little time outdoors with my kids and take them camping, hopefully up in the Northern California woods areas.
As that is put through by Kevin here. And that'll send us to a tactical timeout here in set number 3. The OC Stunners trying to avoid being swept by Team Freedom. They lead 16-13. Back for more here in San Bernardino.
OSIM.
Back here in San Bernardino, I'm Ira Thor. He's going camping. He's Matt Prosser. Where are you going to go, up in the Stanislaus area? Or?
I don't know. You know, maybe Humboldt, Yosemite. You know, we'll see.
Would be nice.
North of San Francisco, kind of somewhere up along the Redwoods. You know, California's got some nice woods to go camp in some of those national parks.
A lot of those places are on my list. One of these trips, I'll come out a day or two early and do some exploring. Here's Jair Santiago to serve. Kenny runs this one down, and Norman with a deep line shot. No, he couldn't find the spot. It was a good idea by Norman.
It was a good idea, but if it's going to be a free ball, you got to put it in. Doesn't have to be a kill. Put it in the court. Let your block and defense get a reset, an opportunity to score.
So here is Santiago trying to extend the lead. It sits at 4 at the moment. That one doesn't carry to the ceiling. Cap with a tough pass. That is blocked back. Free ball opportunity and a perfect spot in the back corner. Heads up play by Antonio Agazola. And Team Freedom facing some adversity now. They have to call a timeout, trailing by 5, the largest lead of the match at any point for OC.
Well, for right now, it seems as if the Stunners substitutions that they made prior to the start of set number 3 is paying some dividends for them. Like you mentioned, Ira, their biggest lead of the match so far. They need it. Down 0-2, make some changes and see if it can work for your squad.
Now, you had to figure the Stunners weren't going to go away easily. The defending champions, I know both teams are missing pieces today. The Stunners will be increasingly dangerous as the season goes on, so this is imperative for Team Freedom to try to get this win now. It's a divisional matchup. Teams will play of the regular season. Second weekend of July will be a divisional weekend, so they'll definitely have a chance to face off. As Fairder are able to connect in the back line. Explaining it is that you'll play everybody in the league except for 2 teams over the course of the year. Might be 4, but there will be some, it's like the NFL where you just don't play everybody, but you do play a good bulk of the schedule. Obviously, the NFL, you play roughly half of the teams.
Well, with
there's
the
12 teams in the NVA.
2 new teams in the NVA, Seattle Sasquatch and Colorado Kraken. Taking a little pressure off of the every weekend schedule, so going from 5 matches per day of an event down to 4, and then adding another weekend of play to the schedule. So teams getting some rest during these events and guaranteed 2 matches instead of 3, as it was last year.
And I think it's really important that you do have that one day off, either for travel purposes, as that is put away by Hilling, or to actually, be able to breathe for a minute. Very difficult even at the collegiate level to play 3 days in a row. Here professionally, where you guys are obviously in the best shape there is. However, you're also going against other athletes who are in the best shape, and it's a lot of sock-em battles out here on the court.
Well, it's extremely physical. I mean, volleyball is a very taxing sport on the body, a lot of jumping, a lot of torque in the shoulder. And some of these matches going well over 2 hours, 2.5 hours, even almost 3 hours last night, as we saw in a 5-set match.
Santiago with the rocket.
The Santiago substitution is paying off for the Stunners, as he's scored a handful of points here in game number 3, and Stunners now 4 points away from taking the victory here in set 3.
So Nolimani, who product of the University of St. Catherine, he serves away. Norman, this is run down by Agazola. Here's Hilling, and he's able to tool the block for the Stunner point. They lead 22-16. Kenny goes to Buffum. That is run down by the libero Shigakawa. Free ball chance here for the OC Stunners. They go back to Santiago, and he does bad things.
Shahir with a huge swing in transition for his side. They're yelling through the net, maybe. Getting his team fired up.
Here's Cap, and he gets the answer. He also draws the Stunners into the net, so regardless, point over to the Team Freedom, who needs a quick run here, or they're going to find themselves going to a 4th set. It's 23-17. Here's Cap.
Cap trying a little too hard on that one. Service error gives Stunner set point here.
Here's Hilling. Lou with the tough pass. Back set to Norman, who scorches the earth.
Joe Norman returning the favor with a big right side attack of his own that time. Still set point for the Stunners though.
24-18, set point number 2. They go to Santiago. He gets blocked back as he tried to change up. This time he'll probably swing away, and he got blocked. 3rd chance. They feed Santiago again, and 3 times. You see the reaction is enough. He unleashes the emotion as the Stunners take and come back for game number 4 here in San Bernardino. The Stunners looking to force a 5th set.
knows him.
And we're back here at courtside at the Pierce Sports Center, the home this season for all 6 NVA events, regular season and postseason. And of course, if you're looking at the upcoming schedule, let's give it to you here as we get set for game number 4. Our second event will be May 6th through the 8th back here in San Bernardino. Event number 3 will be Memorial Day's Mother's Day weekend. We'll celebrate Father's Day weekend with you here, the June 17th, 18th, and 19th for event number 4. And then the regular season will conclude July 8th, 9th, and 10th as we have event number 5. That leads to the NVA Cup Championship, the quarterfinals August 5th, the semifinals August 6th, and we'll decide a champion on Sunday, August 7th.
Quite a busy schedule. Nice to see the NVA continuing to grow the schedule, though. More opportunities for these teams to create a name for themselves and chase down that championship cup at the end of the season.
And a chance for me to accumulate frequent flyer miles, apparently. As we are back underway, they'll go to Joe Norman to start set number 2. It's going to come over off of the chest of Mon. Ferder gets rejected. Weston Santiago there.
What a dig from Noli Iman that time, taking all the heat that Joe Norman can offer and getting the ball back over. Stunners with a nice point to start set number 4 here.
Noli Iman removes his jersey. You'll see the word Mikasa firmly tattooed on his chest. And Ian Cap from the back row unleashes.
Ian Cap for Team Freedom, really playing a well-rounded, nice match so far.
Yeah, Cap.
Ian Cap.
And out of those 19, 18er kills, just a tremendous effort for him. That is blocked back by New Jersey. Kenny's there. Cap with the hands. Ferder down the line gets the result. And New Jersey has a 2-1 lead over OC. Of course, the Team Freedom is without some of its key pieces. Matt Seifert is the most notable player. Big dig there for Buffum. And that is blocked, but out of bounds. That is a kill for the Stunners. Of course, the Stunners also missing a number of pieces, and some big ones indeed, and Corey Chavers and Joey Jarvis and Can't forget, of course, arguably the best all-around libero in the league, and Josh Eisenberg.
These guys just finishing up their professional seasons overseas as the roof gets involved on that one, unfortunately falling on the side of Team Freedom.
Kenny had it lined up, and then it changed direction off one of the vents in the HVAC system in the ceiling. Got a good 50-foot clearance or so here at the Pierce Sports Center, but even that height's not always enough, as that is struck long on the serve by Hilling.
Matt Hilling leading all Stunners scorers so far in this match with 11 points.
Here's Joe Norman. He's got 10 kills and a pair of aces. 14 total points on the day. Too long.
Servers really getting after it from the end line here. Not holding anything back, so might see a few more service errors throughout the rest of this match, but all in all, relatively even on the statistics sheet between these two squads.
Here's Nick West. Clips off the tape and lands on his side of the court. So that sends it back to Ferreter. Agazola. Chance for Team Freedom to run Norman, but he gets blocked back, covered by Burrell. Was there a touch? There was not. As Cap
off the hands and just missing. I think he had a little contact with the Stunners blockers' hands as well, just missing that ball and hitting it out of bounds.
When the ball's that tight, and obviously the pass didn't give Kenny a lot of options, really your only chance of your cap is to try to tool the hands. Really not much of a window to work with. That's a big serve from Santiago. Norman pops it up to allow Cap to swing away. Santiago got a hand on it, Hilling ran it over, and then this will be finally sent over on a free ball off of the ceiling by Shigekawa. And the attack by the Freedom is long, and the Stunners have themselves a 6-4 lead.
Now back-to-back hitting errors from Ian Cap. The most reliable hitter for Team Freedom through the first 3 sets has gotten off to a cold start here in set number 4.
Here's Santiago. Santiago with a roll serve. That is blocked back. That was a great looking serve by Jair. Well disguised. And it doesn't matter because Ian Cap gets another. That is kill number 20 for Cap. And I would imagine, without having his entire NVA history in front of us, but having seen him play much of last year, that is a professional career high. And that is another block back, and it falls in as Buffum and Kenny get involved.
Another Stuff'em.
Oh,
sighting,
it has
perhaps?
to be really decisive.
Okay.
It can't be just your run-in-the-mill block.
Understood. Okay. I know everyone's waiting to hear it again.
You got to earn it. That pass was off the mark. Swinging away Santiago. A lot of power, but too low. And here is Burrell with a 7-6 lead now. Team Freedom has scored 3 in a row. Santiago runs that down and a power tip, but it won't count because Santiago was well in front of the 10-foot line. In fact, he was halfway to the net. And it's difficult to stay below the plane of the net when you're that large of a human being.
Well, you're right. He just needed to stay on the ground and tip the ball over, but he jumped, and so it's a backcourt violation. But Matt Hilling siding out successfully that time out of the back row for the Stunners.
Matt Hilling's had a very nice effort. Now his 12th kill, his 14th overall point. Teams are I'm still looking at Team Freedom having the better statistical effort so far tonight. They're serving at a 71% rate, 52% on attack, but their attack numbers in this match are starting to go down now as they've been less and less accurate as this has gone along. Meanwhile, the Stunners had their best statistical set, as you would imagine, in the third when they hit 52%. Finally have their passing percentage on receptions over the 50% plateau for the match. That one.
Get a little assistance from the equipment sometimes. And that time, Anguizzola gets the trickler ace for the point.
Alou there. They go to Cap and add another to his account. So Ryan Kenny, 9-9, game 4, third match of the weekend in this division. Santiago, too hot to handle.
Santiago continuing to prove the point that he should be on the floor for the Stunners, that time out of the back row scoring the point. Freedom having a hard time slowing Jair down offensively.
Here's Kevin Gear. And Buffum gets the outcome. So that'll say to Ian Cap, who is capable of creating separation with his service game, back to serve. It's not just his ability to, of course, and it'd be exciting when he does on cork aces, but if there's anybody on the Freedom squad that can put the Stunners back on their heels serving-wise, it's Cap. That, however, well passed. Santiago swinging down the line. Alou, though, waiting for it. Here's Ferreter, and he gets blocked back. However, it is out of bounds. I thought he was going to get caught on the redirection.
Well, a nice turn by Ferreter down the line, but credit to Ryan Alou, the libero for Team Freedom in the white jersey, getting a nice scoop defensive dig on Jair Santiago out of the back row that time.
Yeah, I thought Ferreter was going to get clipped by the rebound and avoided it. Another big serve by Cap. Tipped over, covered by Kenny. Oh, the hands from Cap. And that is not coming back. Ferreter puts it away off the thing of beauty from Ian Cap.
Ian Cap almost looking like he thought he was the libero, jumped from behind the 10-foot line, but then decided to hand set over to the front row, Ferreter for the point.
That was angelic. Cap to serve. Not this time. And it's 12-11. Cap, that's going to be a free ball chance here for the Stunners to tie it. Here's Santiago, and he delivers. Well, when you send a free ball over, the Stunners have so many options to make you pay, and that's a big one right there.
It was, and only one blocker in front of Jair that time on that swing, and that's an advantage for the 6'10 Jair Santiago.
Here's Joe Norman, laying out with the dig was Mon. Alou runs it down, and Cap will go over. He will, but not by much. Another chance for the Stunners. Santiago Thunder. And he is pumped. He learns earlier this afternoon, as we mentioned, the reveal. He will be the father of a baby girl, so you can hashtag that one, power from the girl dad. Joe Norman answers as Joe Norman can.
Haven't said Joe Norman's name a lot since set number 3, and it's a nice thing to see if you're a fan of Team Freedom. Joe Norman getting going on the right side, trying to answer Jair Santiago's right side offense for the Stunners.
It's 13-all. Here's Santiago from a different look, but this time it's not as comfortable on the outside, and he misses that long. And Freedom has the lead. So here is Buffum. Trickles over, nearly fell in. Hilling goes to Santiago again. Cross court cannot connect as Matt Buffum does his best duck and cover impersonation.
He does need a duck and cover because that was a big swing from Jair against the three-man block, and just like that, Team Freedom with a 2-point advantage now.
Buffum goes deeper this time. Tough pass from the libero Chikakawa. Laying out his cap, Kenny will pop it up. Ferreter's gonna free ball this over and he'll court. Oh, and this one just cannot be saved. Kenny. And here he is, Hilling. There is going to be a court moisture official timeout here as they wipe up the remnants of Ryan Kenny.
Well, you got to applaud Team Freedom for the effort so far. Playing with the lead here, trying to close out this match in 4 sets, get the W, but sustaining a uptick in pressure from stunners as well. Team Freedom working hard.
Here's Ferreter. Chikakawa's there for the dig. Alou lays out to save it. From the back row, getting the clear touch for another kill is Ian Cap. And Cap gives a 16-14 lead to Team Freedom, trying to close it out in 4 sets. We'll see if they can do so when we return to San Bernardino.
OSIM.
And we're back here courtside. Ira Thor alongside Matt Prosser. Nick England was with us momentarily, but he's had his mic taken away because he has to go stretch, as he will be playing in our 4th match when the Ramblers take on the Matadors. You know, potentially pull a groin or something like that. So he is mandated to stretch for a full 90 minutes.
It's part of
his poor wife having to care for him. We care about, you know, a happy home. Cap with a tough pass off the serve from West. Here's Ferreter, and that's gonna carry him off the tape into the table and allows the Stunners to pull within 1.
Ira, we're actually tied at 16 points each now.
Oh, we are. The scoreboard wasn't updated yet because I looked too early. Patience, patience, young man. There's West. Lou with a good pass. They go to Ferreter, and he buries it.
The combo of Ferreter and Cap have really kept Team Freedom involved here. We've seen the setter, Ryan Kenny, kind of go away from the middle. Thomas Burrell hasn't gotten a set very much here in set number 4, and Buffum doing a nice job blocking, but offensively not involved too often here. So turning into a battle of outside hitters here in this match.
Here he is, Ferreter, and pushes Cap to the front row as he tries to add to his ridiculous totals today. That is, however, left short. the net. So now Thomas Burrell. Burrell out of Somerset, New Jersey, played his collegiate volleyball at Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken. Lived in the better engineering schools and business schools on the East Coast. And Ian Cap just missed wide. And Justin Beaumont is going to challenge this. I think challenge whether that might have gotten line. So we are going to go to a replay. Dennis Franciscini gets on the radio to let our officiating crew in the second level of the Pierce Sports Center understand what they are looking for. Ian Cap has got 22 kills for Team Freedom. That is by far a match high, and like I said, it is likely his professional high. It is likely the most he's had at any level playing, because collegiately his career high for kills was 12, which he did multiple times while playing for Kean University. Why that's so low, you ask? Well, he primarily played setter his entire career.
Well, we got some clarification on what is being challenged. So Coach Beaumont calling a challenge on what he saw as a net violation against the Stunners that was not called at the end of that rally, as the attack went out of bounds from Team Freedom. So
that's probably a good challenge right there. There is a possibility that we saw some net shaking. They will review this. And there was indeed a touch, and that was a quick replay. Not only did they get it right, they got it right fast. Matt Hilling is not pleased with the call, but video doesn't lie. And that is a huge reversal in the favor of Team Freedom.
Very interesting to see how that reversal impacts the Stunners.
Now they lead now 19-17 does Team Freedom. You know, Hilling didn't have a very positive reaction to the overturn, but this is the reason we have replay, so you don't have these arguments, you know, with players and officials, you know, thinking that they got a call wrong. Replay helps get it right. Can't catch. That is going to result in a timeout for the Stunners, who find themselves in a stunning situation, down 3 and 2 sets to 1. The defending champions facing defeat for the first time this year. So if you're the Stunners, Matt, how do you chip away at this deficit with such little margin for error now?
Well, right out of the gate, you got to side out on the first opportunity here. So you got to pass the ball up to the net, it all through the middle. You've got Jair Santiago carrying a big weight offensively.
On the swing by Agazola. Agazola is one of the youngest players in the NVA. 6'6", out of Chiriquí, Panama. Born in August 2000, so he is just 21 years old. Last year when he was playing with the Stunners, he couldn't have a celebratory post-match drink most of the season. Here's Cap Long, and the frustration is becoming visible in the faces of OC.
Well, tense moments now for the Stunners, down by 3 points. Victory over the returning champions.
Hilling trying to change the outcome, and he gets the touch. So that's a huge kill for Hilling to give his team any chance of coming back. Kill number 12 for Matt Hilling. It's 21-19. And here's Gear to serve. Nearly a free ball pulled back by Kenny, but Cap with a rare misfire.
Oh, Stunners with a break on that one as Hilling popped on the back row setter, leaving Cap with no blocker in front of him. But the set didn't materialize into his window, and it resulted in a hitting error.
And how big is that?
Huge play there.
How big is that challenge overturn now? It's just a 1-point lead. It could be a 1-point lead for the Stunners. That is run down by Mon. Hilling swinging away. Kenny's there. Cap sends it down on 2. Hilling again. Oh, and he caught Tim Ferreter going the wrong direction. And we are all square at 21. That ends up being a very productive timeout for OC. They've scored 4 of the last 5 points since.
Well, credit to Jair Santiago. Offensively has been great. He just got his first dig of the match, too.
Comes over, but Alou is there. They set Cap, and he hits it cross court for the result. 24th kill for Ian Cap.
A huge swing there from Ian Cap. His last chance in the front row as he goes to the back row. The next server for Team Freedom is Ian Cap. Now 3 points away from a match win.
22-21 as Cap serves. Takes something off of it, run down by the Stunners. Paintbrush, Kenny's there. That is blocked back. They collect it off the net, and Kenny just dumps it over. Second chance for the Stunners. Santiago, too much power. And we're all square again at 22.
This may be a battle all the way down to the finish here. Too close to call, Ira. Both sides taking some huge swings in transition. Lots on the line here, Ira.
Here's 26-year-old Noli Mon. They go to Norman, and he is stuffed. Weston Hilling, a timely rejection, and the Stunners have bounced back to reclaim a 23-22 lead, trying to force a 5th set. So now the tables are turned on Team Freedom. His 12th. And Matt Buffum to serve. Native of Chesterfield, Missouri. Disrupted at the net by Burrell from the back row. Cap puts one in the floor. Back-to-back points for Team Freedom, down for 23. Trying to someone. Ferreter teaming up with Burrell and Joe Norman to close it out, the triple to punctuate the huge victory here in National Conference Coastal Division action as Team Freedom upsets the defending champions, the OC Stunners, in 4 sets, winning to 25-22, 18.
What a showing from Team Freedom. Ian Cap, Ferreter, the outside hitters did a great job. Credit to Ryan Kenny, running a good offense, utilizing his hot hitters, and Team Freedom pulling off a great win here for them to go home on a high note for the weekend.
Now Ian Cap with a career high, we believe 25 kills. He will be our man of the match. We'll step aside momentarily, and I will grab Ian Cap. We'll do our post-match interview, and when we return here, live in San Bernardino.